gentlemen, I would like to welcome you all. Game 1 between the Future Ancients and G4 was incurred by Future Ancients. They do have a lot less reserved time in relation to G4, but tonight I am joined by the one and only Root Negative. How you doing tonight, buddy?
Chimera, how are you today?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. A little bit cold, but you know, you get that. So, yeah, it's a bit cold where I'm at right now. So I saw there was a bit of meme chat that we had inside the lobby. So
just a little bit of banter.
Yeah, a little bit of banter coming out from the Future Ancients and stuff. So I did notice that Magistu is a very high MMR player. So do you know much about these two teams?
Yeah, so G4's from New Zealand, I believe. And they're very, very, very strong. In the last season, I reckon they were in Div 1, or there's something there was something that happened there that resulted them just stomping everyone and being in Div 2, I think. Now, they've been in Div 2 again, and there's about a 2,000 MMR gap on average between G4 and the Future Ancients, so this could be a fairly short game.
Ooh, that sounds nasty. 2k MMR difference. That's a bit how you going, but sometimes that doesn't even matter. So we will be getting into the draft here. We do have Bristleback, Axe, and out Sand King and Nyx Assassin being out from the Future Ancients as well. What do you take from these two bands?
I think G4 are just taking out some annoying heroes in the meta. Bristleback, even though he was nerfed, is still extremely strong. So it makes sense to take it out. Okay, they pick up the Crystal Maiden again, strong hero in the meta. So long as you can get level 2, level 3 on Crystal Maiden, you're Gucci.
Yeah.
Before then, it's kind of bad.
Especially with that massive nerf to Frostbite now, you can't get 2 off in 1 mana pool, so you're gonna have to, be a bit less lenient with all your Frostbite usage.
Yeah, you can cast it twice, but that's it. She's about the dumbest int hero in the game, I think.
Sounds like it. But yeah, they do pick up the Clockwork to pair with this Crystal Maiden. We have been seeing recently from the pro scene that Clockwork has been more of a position 4 here and not really run that much. I think probably OG is the only one that still runs it as a position 3, maybe EG as well, but a lot of teams are favouring that roaming Clockwork. What makes roaming Clockwork a lot better than offlane Clockwork?
Just the impact that he can have. Like, if Clockwork finds any support and he gets too close, he'll kill them. And there's very few heroes that are capable of doing that with no more than boots and level 2. If he gets on top of the Jakiro, like the Jakiro this is going to be a sad Jakiro game, because Jakiro has a cast time that lasts for like eons. So if you try to cast like Ice Path or Macropar or anything, and the Clockwork has got Battery Assault on you, you won't get it off. So that's what comes from the position 4. And like you think about other roaming heroes like Bounty, like Ricky, they don't have kill potential like Clockwork does. Clockwork can, if he gets close enough, he can kill someone. Whereas Bounty Hunter with level 2, what are they going to do? Like Shadow Strike you plus Janata proc? Like, it's not that much, but at level 1, Battery Assault, very strong.
5 seconds.
Yeah, I can understand that. So pretty much all you want to do is get as much move speed as possible on this early Clockwork, just to get a lot of those easy picks on a lot of this support, especially the Jakiro, and even be able to hit the Darkseer inside the cogs and stuff like that. So
yeah, boots and run it, kids.
Yeah, pretty much. So hopefully this Clockwork, hopefully Clockwork can get a fair bit of farm, fair bit of levels as well. But in the same vein, a lot of these roaming 4s do also have the downfallers. If they don't get levels, they don't really do much, to be honest. But I think Clockwork, as soon as he hits level 6, he can pretty much just suicide into a lot of these teams, so that are kind of setting up for the rest of his team. So it's pretty much
G4 are going to have a plan here around Clockwork with the tome as well. He can still be relevant. As you say, he only needs 6, and he's online, so fairly straightforward. Meepo ban, interesting.
That's interesting. Maybe they know a lot more than what we do about some of these players, but it is a very annoying hero to deal with if you are not prepared for it. But Night Stalker, this is one of those heroes that I absolutely love in this meta.
Yeah, he's like having the ability to fly is. What was Ice Frog thinking? It's just taking Night Stalker from, a niche pick to,
pretty strong.
Every time, pick it.
Yeah.
Every time if you can. Because Hunter in the Night, right? And it's also a little bit of a block pick because Night Stalker's really good against Clockwork. Like, if you get hooked on, you can just Hunter in the Night over the cogs and fly away.
Yeah, that seems to be a very good hero, especially with the Clockwork. They can both pretty much just dual lane together and be very, very aggressive, but it looks like we've got some quickfire picks as well. Kunker in return from the Future Ancients, and then a Lifestealer picked up straight away. There is two pretty good in-first bombs. Night Stalker's not that great as an in-first bomb target, but, you know, he still is pretty good unless Clockwork, you know, if Clockwork doesn't have his hook up.
Yeah, and but the thing is, like, Lifestealer and Clockwork is a little bit awkward because, yeah, you can hookshot in, but then because you cog, the Lifestealer's kind of in one spot, which Jakiro and Kunka, they're both what you would term static teamfight heroes. They cast a spell in one spot, and that's where you're teamfighting. Macrophire, it doesn't move, and Boat, well, it's point targeted. So it's a little bit of an awkward pairing, and I think that Timbersaw is probably one of the heroes that the Future Ancients needs to look at right now.
Yeah.
Hello?
Sorry guys. This is unfortunate. Can you guys please leave this channel? We're just trying to do a cast here for AEF.
Let's
yes, it's already started. Yeah, we're gonna have to. All right, they moved. Thank you. That was very awkward. I thought they would have had a caster channel for us, but apparently not. Yeah, that was a bit unfortunate.
That's excellent.
So yeah, we'll get back into it. TFA decided to pick up Terrorblade. What's your thought of Terrorblade in this current meta? Personally, I really don't like him.
Like, teams are picking him, but he really hasn't had the success that you would say, yeah, it justifies how popular it is. Like, he's very good against Lifestealer. You know, he's pretty good against Clockwork as well, because with lots of illusions, Battery Assault can't focus in on the right thing. So he's okay. And right now, there's lots of... it's just... You have to wonder how this Terrorblade's going to go in lane against the Clockwork, Night Stalker, potentially Crystal Maiden roaming into him. Like, how's that going to work? Is it going to go okay?
Yeah, it does seem very scary for a Terrorblade. He does have very high armor, but very low HP, so a lot of this magic nuke can do a lot of work against Terrorblade. They don't really have a good babysitter. Like, fair enough, like, they do have Jakiro, but Jakiro can get caught out in the exact same way, so...
Jakiro's more of an aggressive support, similar to, like, Disruptor and, you know, those supports that need to be playing off the front foot.
Yep.
He's not a dazzle. And he's not good at just sitting behind someone in lane and you know, making sure they get farm. He's not good at that. That's not where his strengths lie. So I don't know. This draft has gone in an interesting direction. Might be a core Kunka. Could be like a...
We could potentially... but not with the Storm Spirit. That'd be a weird support.
Wow.
So Storm Spirit didn't instantly pick TA. TA was probably one of the better mids out there. Didn't really have that many counters to her left, but... So Storm Spirit picked up from TFA, so it will be a 4-position Kunker and a 5 Jakiro. And so it looks like the Night Stalker will be the support and the Clockwork will be the offlane. I don't think it really matters to farm priority on those two heroes, to be fair.
No, not really. I'd like to see Midas on the Night Stalker and not on the Clockwork, though. Midas on Clockwork is just kind of bad. Like, I think that Night Stalker is probably where you want to put that Midas.
Yep.
Let him be a little bit greedier, because you're going to have the Lifestealer take up a lot of farm. I feel like this is it's a nice draft from G4, and I think that their the MMR difference is just going to carry them through in the end of the day.
Yeah, okay, that's fair enough. I'd probably have to agree here. G4 does seem like they do have a bit of a lot stronger draft and do have a lot stronger MMRs, to be sure. But hopefully, like, pretty much what I was thinking from TFA is this Storm Spirit could go pretty ham. There is not really that much lockdown. To be fair, there is the root coming out from the Crystal Maiden and the Silence coming out from the Night Stalker, but if he's not caught out by those and he jumps on top of someone, it's going to be very, very hard for them to stop him in these team fights.
Yeah, and it is a nice pick in that regard, because yeah, you need hard lockdown. Like, I'm talking like Legion Commander dual kinds of lockdown to actually kill a Storm Spirit sometimes. Either that or Rupture. That could be funny.
Yeah. That's pretty true. So hopefully the Storm Spirit can have a fairly decent lane. So TFA going more of a conventional draft, I want to say. They do have a Roman Conquer, but their draft seems more A-OK coming out. And then G4 do just have the Crystal Maiden babysitting in the aggressive dual lane. Looks like it will, yeah, Boots first Night Stalker, so that's going to be a pretty aggressive lane coming out from the G4 boys. And Clockwork's, you know, stacking up 2 sets of Tango, so he's ready to brawl. So it should be pretty interesting to see how they deal with this dual lane coming out from G4 as well. Oh, I didn't change my... I didn't change my terrain.
Oh my god.
This Reef's Edge train is actually AIDS to play with and to watch, I'd imagine, so... I'm sorry, everyone. I actually really hate this train. I just haven't changed it since I got it, and I was like, "Oh, I'll try it out for a game." Yeah, it's AIDS. Don't ever use it. It's so bad.
You're not a fan?
Like, no, I'm really not a fan.
The thing that tilts me the most is like the dolphins or whatever the hell they are.
Oh, it's just everything about
just this random like dolphin call in the middle of the game. You're there, farming. You're like, "Whoa, what was that? What ability was that?"
The worst thing is when I'm trying to play mid and trying to eat one of these tree things, you're not quite sure which one of them are actually trees or if they're just like purely cosmetic. So a lot of the time I end up misclicking.
Ninja could be in trouble here. There's a 5-man smoke coming top.
This could be pretty scary. He hasn't skilled yet, so he could get away with a quick little rage skill, but I don't think he's going to be able to get out of this. He looks pretty dead. There are some body blocks. So they are still continuing to chase him. He's going to have to burn a lot of regen if he does get out of this, but he's getting really, really low. We do
dive it, boys. Go after him.
We've got a torrent coming up. Nah, they decide to let him go, but he's going to have to go back to base, buy a TP, come in. Crybaby comes out from Pandora. So that Lifesteal is not having fun there, but 5-man rotation, they don't really get much out of it, just pretty much sending Lifesteal back to lane. He's not going to be able to get there that early, and they do just split 2 and 2. Yeah, so Clockwork and Night Stalker decided to try and bully the Terrorblade, who did use meta, which was, you know...
Hold on, Ninja's not in the fountain.
Oh no, No. Did he not notice?
Like, are we looking at the same game right now?
Oh no, he didn't notice that such an...
Oh, he's fucked up. Mistakes were made.
That is not good from him. He's going to have to chew a lot of tangos to try and stay in the lane, but you have Hawkeye coming in the mid with the Jakiro just throwing out a dual breath, which Images do. Oh, he's got the preemptive sentry, what a god. 6k gaming coming out here, and looks like we do have Benny coming in. He's going to have to eat a lot of regen here. Night Stalker comes in as well. Ooh, Hawkeye. Goes down very, very low here. May just have to go back into the base. There's action all over the park. So it looks like Kunkka's going to be the designated lane support for the Terrorblade.
And the fact that Ninja has to skill Rage level 1 means that his ability to sustain himself in this lane is a little bit rough, and Scroats is taking it to him right now. He's like, "Hey buddy, I've got level 2, you're only level 1. So that's a very, very good start for them.
It is, especially trying to put this Lifesteal on the back foot. He's one of those heroes that cannot really flash farm, kind of has to rely a lot on those kills to come up, especially against a Terrorblade as well, who's going to be able to farm a lot quicker than the Lifesteal will. There is a lot of minus armor on his team though, so he should be able to do a lot of damage in these team fights.
One nice thing about Jakiro is that Jakiro wrecks TA. We saw that Hawkeye started mid to give Nova Lau a little bit of a better lane, and he's level 3, and Magisto's only level 2, so they're off to a pretty good start there, I think.
Yeah, it looks like G4 has decided to go onto the Terrorblade here. He gets caught inside the cogs and some barrier assault, but he isn't in danger of dying. It looks like Brue is going to be the first one to go down here. He gets Dual Fire and Pandora just slapping him with that nice little Kunkka sword. So first blood does go towards the future Ancients. G4's not really having a good time, and Scroats going ham top, really getting this Lifestealer down low. Crystal Maiden does come in though. His Surge, so he's pretty much fine. But as you were saying, Ninja is having a very horrible time. I thought he's not liking this one bit.
Yeah, like he's been put into an odd position with the whole skilling of Rage level 1. Like normally you want to sit back and just kind of ease yourself into the lane, get in some levels, and slowly work yourself up to it. But Scroats has taken the initiative here, and he's having to scramble somewhat.
Yeah. So he does get that feast level 2, so he should have a lot funner time now. Still does have to get a lot of pulled regen towards him, but this mid lane, after Hawkeye's left, Magistu has come back a fair amount, 16 and 6 on him and 15 and 5 on Nova, so this is a pretty TA favoured matchup against the Storm Spirit. I am a Storm Spirit player, so this is probably one of the most annoying matchups to go against TA with those lovely refraction charges.
The thing is, Magistu doesn't have his bottle yet. He's gone Boots, Blightstone, and Nova Lau does have the bottle. So potentially you might be able to harass her now that she doesn't have any mana and she can't spam the refraction. Because that's the biggest issue, is you can't harass her through refraction.
Yeah, true. So yeah, as you're saying, there is no refractions left up
Might
on
be
Magistu.
small opening, a timing, as the
Timing.
yeah. If he hits his timing, I've been watching the proper casters cast Dota.
The actual good people cast.
Wow. Whether or not
I'll speak for myself there, Root.
I'll leave that to someone else. But anyway,
but yeah, as you were saying, Nova can definitely try and pressure out Magistu here. I'd be interested to see if he does decide to go onto him and just try and push him out of lane before, so he can get that early level 6, because TA pretty much can't kill a Storm Spirit after level 6 unless obviously he gets caught out. So
yes,
maybe
exactly.
This is what he wants to do, especially before the first night time, before Cox can kind of come in and do Night Stalker thingies and kind of just, you know, throw some voids for some crippling fears, because he is only level 2 though on the Night Stalker, so not that scary from the Storm Spirit. He probably will pick up crippling fear at level 3, I'd imagine, and try and make that first rotation to mid. But if Magistu isn't ready for a gank, where would Cox want to go first for his Night Stalker? Where would be the easiest lane for him to get a kill?
I would see. That's the thing. Like, all the lanes are fairly hard to gank, simply because the Terror Blade, not the Shadow Blade, the Terror Blade has, you know, help. So he's got the Jakira in the neighborhood. The Kunka's kind of roaming around. He really needs to head mid. However, he's going to need Crippling Fear, and he may even need an extra level in Void before he can actually kill him, because TA right now doesn't do that much damage, and she's not going to have the mana for refraction. So I don't think that this first nighttime is going to work out that well.
Yeah, it's true. That's understandable. So it looks like we do have Hawkeye getting gone on by Blu-ray here. Does get hit with the battery assault, but oh no, Terrorblade.
Hawkeye's dead.
Or he's getting run out here by Cox. Doesn't have mana for another void. He's just going to try and chase him down. And out comes the nighttime.
So I retract my previous statement. The first nighttime's going to go great. Cox is going to get a kill on the stroke of midnight.
That was very, very good timing coming up from the Night Stalker. Literally
Curse.
just turned. Yeah, Caster's Curse, 100%. Calling out Cox not going to have a fun first nighttime, and he gets a kill straight away. So it looks like he's going to make his way onto mid here. Pandora is sitting behind with the Kunkka, so I'm not quite sure if he will be able to get anything here. He is holding a skill point, so probably holding it to see if he has to actually use Crippling Fear here.
It's a hard kill, though. Like,
It definitely is. Magistu just has enough mana now for one refraction, so this could be the time to go.
the Storm would have to get out of position past the lane, and Pandera's hanging around. So they know that the Kunkka's missing, and they don't know where he is. So there's a chance he's hanging out behind the Darkseer, but that's unlikely. There's a chance he might be down the bottom lane. And Cox is going to try and make it go. They need Nova to be up further. Magistu just got his 6, so here we go.
So it looks like they do throw out
rotation.
the void onto Nova here, but it looks like Magistu does just get all his refraction charges burnt down. Cox is just trying to trade as much as he can. Out comes the TA traps as well. Pandora getting fairly low himself, so it looks like they're just going to trade a lot of regen. Nobody's going to go down, and that was a good rotation coming out from Hawkeye. Probably preempting that from the Night Stalker, so just getting ready with that TP.
I can give you probably the insight on the team comms there. It was, hey guys, nighttime, Night Stalker's missing. And Novalau was probably saying something along the lines of, get mid now. Hawkeye has had that TP in his inventory since about minute 2, so it's just a really, really good reaction. That gank comes to nothing. The TA is forced to burn a lot, and Nova Lau's undead, and he's got his 6, so he's a happy boy. Much harder to kill now.
Definitely, it's going to be a lot harder for them. They're definitely going to need Crippling Fear next time they come in. Did put 2 levels into the Void, so one with a bit more extra damage, a bit more extra slow, but as we were saying, Hawkeye was 100% ready for that rotation, and as we were saying, Chikura is extremely good against TA. A lot of dot damage coming out from him, and just being able to burn those refraction charges like very, very early on in the fights, making TA a lot less tanky. But Cox is going on a Pandora right here. Double damage is picked up by him. He is slapping extremely hard right now. He does get pulled back by the X marks the spot, so Cox won't be able to get the kill there onto the Conqueror, and zip in from Nova. Doesn't get anything. Again, just pretty much just trading regen.
That was so calm there by Pandora. Like, I how do you not panic and be like, oh, I'm dead?
I'm just fine out there.
Like, he just calmly Torrent, walked away, Storm Spirit rotates in and you know, stops any further aggression.
This could be pretty bad coming out from the boys, so Blu-ray decides to walk into Hawkeye here, but they end up catching the Terrorblade instead, so positive player goes down. Hawkeye does trade him out though. He is looking for a second one on the Cox, but doesn't get anything for it. So Terrorblade going down there, which is unfortunate. Still gets the last hit with his illusion here, but Blu-ray trades life. So they're pretty much just waiting for the level 6 on this Clockwork, and they can just run around the map with the Night Stalker and the Clockwork together and kind of just get kills on a lot of these heroes. I think the Darkseer is a pretty easy kill for them.
But this is so worth for G4, because right now the Terrorblade's being slowed down by the... Oh, wow, okay.
We missed a solo kill here, so it looks like there was almost no mana left out on the Storm Spirit. So as you were saying, pretty much the only way Magistu can kill Nova is if he uses all his mana, and looks like he used all his mana, and unfortunately he does get caught out there, so solo kill for the TA.
But that just straight up shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
As a Storm, you shouldn't die to someone who has no lockdown.
That's true. And it was a misplay coming out from Nova, but Cox does get pulled back here by the X, and now comes the Torrent, and just as he was about to complete the TP, Cox gets put up in the air by a gush of water, and looks like we do have a hook shot out on the Clockwork as well. Jumping into the Terrorblade, will he be able to kill him here? No Sunder out on the Terrorblade, running very, very low. Freshly picked up Treads is keeping him alive, so it looks like Blu-ray will die for this, and Pandera getting the X and the Torrent combo, so 2 going down for
watching
him.
attacker.
Yeah.
He's a god on this hero. What's happening here? He's level 3, and he's just created 2 kills for his team. What great work there.
That Torrent coming out from Pandera onto Cox was milliseconds. Absolute milliseconds coming out. I heard the TP complete. I'll be very mad if I was Cox, but yeah, 2 going down there. Terrorblade is forced back to base, but yeah, those freshly picked up Treads definitely keeping him alive there, and Nova is getting gone on by Magistu again, so
yeah,
he runs a bit low on mana.
A little bit more careful here. I wouldn't be zipping in on a TA when the Night
Magistu is 2 levels above him. How does that happen? 25 denies. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
the lane's gone heavily in the TA's favour.
I'm dead and I'm solo healing.
So it looks like Cox has smoked up, is behind the Storm Spirit here. Out comes the TA traps as well. They're kind of just waiting for Nova to try and jump, and out comes the Crippling Fear. I don't think they have enough damage to kill him inside of this silence, so Nova just zips away again. Only half mana left on him, and Hawkeye comes in with a bit more of a Jakiro taunt. But we haven't really talked much about this top lane. There's been a lot of action in the other 2 lanes, to be fair, so Inji is coming back fairly well against Scroats here.
Yeah, now that he's got some levels, he's fine. Like, there's no worries whatsoever. Open wounds is really, really nice against the Iron Shell, because you can just open wounds the Darkseer and punch him. And you heal all the damage that you take from Iron Shell without using Rage. If the Darkseer hangs around, well, he's just going to take 1 trillion damage. Or he has a Surge Away. Which, either way, you're happy with both results. And
yeah,
Gristle Maiden just enables him to actually use spells in the lane.
Yeah, it's one of the hard things about being a lifestealer, not being able to spam out your spells as much as possible, because they are very, very low cooldown spells and very good spells in that as well. So having the Crystal Maiden around 2 levels in that lovely aura, looks like there is a hook shot coming into the bottom. This is, as you were saying in the draft, Hawkeye's just trying to throw out some spells but can't do it. The battery assault is too strong.
It feels so bad. Like,
It's like the same vein as being an Earthshaker against a Clockwork. You really cannot do anything, but Blu-ray does get X here, so he may pay for his solo kill here. Who will get the last hit? Nova gets it as well, so that's good.
4 heroes. Meanwhile, Ninja has nearly got his Midas top lane, and Magistu is, you know, just pushing the lane in. He's pretty much got a Desolator. He's, what, 900 gold off?
That's pretty scary, considering that the hero was sitting mid for probably, what, 1 or 2 levels. It was pretty crazy. Magistu showing us 6k gaming, how it's done. Getting a lot of farm on his TA. 5.4k net worth out on him.
Did that catch it? Holy shit! Look at this ward, right?
Yeah.
The sentry has just not caught that observer.
Oh, that is... Oh my god, that is so close. That is... Like
That's
right
the next
on the
level
line.
play, knowing how, you know, kind of looking at how much range does the sentry do it. Right, there we go. That's where we're going to place the observer. And you can see that they've got really good vision now over the Radiant jungle, and this is to stop the Storm Spirit from farming any stacks if there were any. However, there are not. Whereas Magistu has already cleared 1 ancient stack, and no, there's no others. So, big difference between the two.
He definitely...
in trouble.
Oh, so Ninja has to rage out on top, jumps inside of a Radiant creep, so... Fingers crossed he's going to stay in this, but no, he's going to have to break out of it. Doesn't have rage anymore, does pick up his Midas as well. X comes out one more time, out onto Ninja's life stealer. He is losing a lot of life here. Looks like he will go down to Nova. One more auto attack, yes he goes down.
Midas on cooldown, boys. That's the triggering part. He got the Midas, wasn't able to use it, so now he's got to wait another 30 seconds before he can actually use his Midas.
All the efficiency going down the drain right now. That's sad times for a position 1 player.
Yeah, GG go end.
GG end, didn't get to use my Midas before I died, guys. Just very, very triggered, but he is 3rd on net worth right now, only behind the Darkseer and his TA, so he's not that far behind. Does, as you said, freshly pick up a Midas, so we'll be able to try and skyrocket in some of the farm. Kind of expecting this game to go late, so they're just going to try and prepare for that with the lifesteal and Midas. I'm not quite sure if either the Night Stalker or the Clockwork... I don't think Clockwork's going to go for one, so he's going to go to a Blade Mail, but do you think Night Stalker should go back for a Midas, considering Lifestealer has one now?
No, I don't actually. I feel like there's only really enough space for one Midas on the team. Because it delays your peak, right? Regardless of what hero you pick it up on, you've just invested, 2,050 gold or whatever it is, 2,150 now, on an item that does nothing.
Yeah. So, looks like Magistu does decide to go on to positive player right now. Does get extremely low, and out comes the Thunder, so does save him for a bit longer, but Pandiera is getting extremely low here. X is back to the Clockwork, so no kill there for the Clockwork, and Scroats is coming into the Magistu right now, but Magistu, with that freshly picked up Desolator, is doing a heck of a lot of damage here. Out pops the Lifestealer, and down goes the very, very farmed Darkseer, so 2 kills for none, and we also didn't talk about Radiant's Kuru going down as well, which is kind of an unfortunate pick-off. But looks like Hawkeye is getting a run down here by Magistu. Magistu doesn't have a Blink Dagger yet, so he can't get on top of him, but throws out another trap. And Hawkeye looks like he's going to be extremely... Oh my god, that melt damage.
Yes, so. Good item on TA.
Oh, that hurt my soul, seeing Hawkeye get hit with that much damage, so... This TA looks like she could be on track for just taking over this game.
Yeah, she's so farmed right now. And back to the Midas conversation, it just delays your peak. So if the Lifestealer is going to go Midas, you really don't want to be delaying another hero, because it's potentially going to, delay your timing too much, and it may let the other team back in the game, which is the last thing you want because you play too greedy.
Yeah, definitely, especially with the network lead they have now, over 4k currently at 15 minutes. For a G4, so
they're roaming in mid here. This could be no, they're not going to.
They do have hookshot on the clock, level 9 on him, so he's doing very well. He probably just wants to get that Blade Mail up ASAP. Looks like this Kira is a pretty juicy target. He is TPing. No, they don't notice it. They do see them with the ward though, so they're gonna realize maybe that they're smoking. They didn't see the smoke itself, but they saw that they were all grouping up together. So potentially just going to leave this top lane. TA does have a freshly picked up Blink Dagger now, so Magistu is a lot scarier right now.
Yeah, and they're smoking to look to try and secure this top lane.
Yep.
The tower. So they're in the dire jungle now, looking for someone. However, they're not going to find anyone because G4 have seen this. They've seen this movie before. They've headed bottom lane. They're looking to trade the tier 2, which I think is a really good move. You know? The tier 1 top really isn't that useful. You lose the tier 2 bottom, you lose a lot of control over your jungle.
Definitely. And they do get spotted out here. Nova does get spotted out by that tier 1 tower, so they definitely know that TFA is there. So positive play is getting gone on here by Blu-ray. Blu-ray just walks up to him, and now it's a very easy solo kill coming out from Blu-ray. They did a heck of a lot of work there. Solo killing the Terrorblade, which is not what you want. Terrorblade only sitting at the 4th highest net worth right now, so it just gets harder and harder. What do you think TFA have to do now to try and come back into this game?
Take what towers they can, split push, delay the game.
Yep.
They can't fight them. This TA is too huge. Someone gets caught, which is going to be a hell of a lot harder to avoid with her having a Blink Dagger. Blink Dagger Deso, 16.5 minutes. Holy moly. Yeah. As long as no one gets caught, that's going to be the way back in his game. Try and gather up some net worth, get some key items, and then go for a fight. But yeah, it's looking hard. They're going to need to start keeping an eye on Roshan as well. However, the ward vision isn't that great because of darkness. Yeah, Night Stalker, good hero.
That's one of those very, very annoying abilities. It's enemy vision, only 675 vision for the wards, and looks like positive play is going to get gone on here. They're trying to figure out which one is the real one. They do find it, unfortunately. He is silenced up. I don't think he's going to be able to get the Sun off. No, he doesn't. That's not good coming out from the Terrorblade. He's trying to be as tanky as possible, but keep getting caught out by the Night Stalker. And okay, so Nova does kill does kill the courier, but it looks like he may get caught out here by Magistu. Just had a bit more mana to zip away from that meld strike. So
right
Terrorblade down.
They need to go push lanes quick.
Yeah.
Go push lanes, split push, boys. Where's the Nature's Prophet when you need one?
100%.
But it looks like they're actually just going to go Roche, which is a really good idea. TFA just can't contest this, I don't think. But they do have a bit of a wombo combo now online. They've got Vac Wall, they've got Boat, they've got Macrophire. You know, those are good spells to fight around the Roche pit in.
Yeah, they definitely could combine it, but there is no Blink Dagger up on Scroats just now, so they do throw out a hook shot. I don't think it connected onto Hawkeye, but he's dead nonetheless. Magistu picks up a freshly picked up Aghanim Scepter. Macropile is thrown in there just to delay a bit, but unfortunately just pays with his life instead, and it looks like Magistu has found positive player here. That Terrorblade has a lot of armor.
Yeah, he's pretty speedy.
He's speedy. Doesn't go down, but this is going to be a tier 2 push for G4, and as you were saying, TFA is just going to have to try and split push, split out the map as much as possible, trying to get as much farm as possible on their cause so they can try and win one of these team fights when G4 decide to, just go high ground. Positive player here. Get hit by a couple of meld strikes. Isn't going to go down. There's no hook shot on clock, so I don't think they can really start a fight yet. They pretty much just have to wait for Magistu to either be gone on or find someone in the backline to just pop up, pretty much.
We're seeing the strength of Jakiro. He's a pretty good high ground defender. Lots of AoE, lots of wave clear, liquid fire slows down pushes, so does dual breath, ice path, it removes creep waves, or it slows attack speed, and very, very good for holding towers. And right now this Aegis is currently not having that much effect, which is great for TFA. Pandera is going to do a bit of a scouting mission.
He does get caught out by one of the traps. Blu-ray is here, so I'm not quite sure if he's going to throw out a little willy-nilly hook. Does see him. Not quite sure who else is in the area. He decides to throw it out and it connects as well. Pandera gets caught inside the cogs and Barry sold as well, trying to throw out as much as possible. Will he get killed here? Yes, he does. Blu-ray gets another nice solo kill on the clockwork, so pushing closer to the next item, which will be a 4-star. So this clock is doing a lot of work.
Yeah, and the poor Jakiro. I hate it when I'm right. It's just such a sad Jakiro game because of his cast time. It's just anytime the clockwork gets you, you're dead. And you can't cast spells, you can't attack, you can't do anything. It's just sad times.
Horrid. It's really horrid playing against a Clockwork when you're a support and he's this far ahead of you. It's just, yeah, as you're saying, you really can't do anything, you just gotta try and not get hooked, but Lifestealer is coming up onto a Maelstrom now, so pretty interesting item pick up from him. I wasn't quite sure what he was going to go into, thought maybe a Sergeant Yasha or something else along those lines, but Maelstrom's pretty good against the Terrorblade.
Yeah, that's right. He wants some way of clearing the illusions, plus the magic damage is really, really good against TB's armor. So, really, yeah, really nice pickup. Then he's just going to go AC, which will help him push. So, potentially, they're not going to go on this Aegis. They might wait for the next Aegis, try and smoke as Roshan respawns, and then go high ground with Lifestealer's AC. That may be what G4 are thinking at the moment.
Well, they do have a freshly picked up Orchid on Majistu, so he can solo kill anybody on the enemy team. Storm,
yeah, needs to be careful.
Nearing that Bloodstone, he's not that close to it, probably about another 1800 gold or so, a bit far away from it, so Majistu can get a lot of solo kills with this pick up Orchid, especially when he goes into the Bloodthorn as well. He's going to do so much damage.
Novalau is miles away from his Bloodstone. His timing is really slow. You really want to be getting your Bloodstone, ideally 16 minutes? 18 at the latest.
Yep.
But I don't think he's going to get a chance.
It is
coming in.
not going to be good for Nova. He's trying to get there, but he's going to have to go back for the Yule set to sing the freshly picked up Orchid from the TA. He doesn't want to just keep feeding lives away, so they're starting to push in here. They still do have a little bit of time left on the Aegis, so probably just going to try and get a bit of chip damage on this tier 3 here. Do just have Ninja hitting the tower from the Lifestealer, but decided to back away. A bit more farming time for them. Try and take out all these out of tier 2s, I'd imagine. And then, yeah, as you said, just wait for the next Roshan and just go in with the Aegis and choose.
Yeah, their net worth is just skyrocketing out of control right now. The difference over 12,000. It's huge.
It is very scary. This TA is absolutely massive right now. 15k net worth. The closest on the Radiant team is only 8k on the Terrorblade, and he does not have a way of getting away from this TA if she jumps and Orchids him. So Jistu with a bit of a DC right now, trying to get his net worth down just a little bit. But yeah,
I think Majistu is probably going to be targeting the Storm Spirit with the silence.
Yep.
I reckon that's why he's rushed it in this way. Because if you silence the Storm, he's got nothing. He can't do anything right now. There's no Yules, which he's just switched into actually. He's seen the Orchid and he knows that I need some way of getting out of that silence now. Bloodstone, it's too late for Bloodstone. We need some way of being able to fight when they force the issue. When they go high ground, we need to be able to cast our spells. So very, very good play from Novalau.
Definitely, yeah. So Sorcerer, as you said, going into the Yule Scepter now. What else do we have coming out? Kunka's going to go in for a 4-star. Darkseer is coming up on his guardian goes. He is very farmed, second on net worth for his team. So Jakiro doesn't look like he's got anything in the works. He's kind of just hoping to stay alive. Terrorblade trying to get into that Mantis style so he doesn't get caught out by the Orchid, and only 50 gold away. 4 Templar Assassin, 100 gold away, sorry, for that Bloodthorn. So that's going to be very, very scary for them. Solar Crest down on Cox, probably going to go into that Heaven's Halberd. As we see a lot from these Night Stalkers, Crystal Maiden, 4-star for herself. Blade Mail on Clock, Force finished as well. And as we were saying, Ninja going into that AC, almost completed on him, probably another 2,000 gold left for him. And that's going to be pretty much go time, I'd imagine, right? It's Bloodthorn on TA, AC on the Lifestealer, probably another Aegis, and they just go, go, go.
This is kind of when TA is extremely strong, because she kind of peaks quite hard and quite early. Deso Blink is kind of the point at which you're like, yeah, come and fight me, nerd. After that, she does, she scales well, and falling off isn't the right term for it, but she's not as strong as she is kind of now. With Bloodthorn, she's going to extend her peak, for potentially the next 5 minutes, at least until some of the heroes get some way of diffusing that. So Manta on the Terrorblade and Yules on the Storm Spirit. So, as you say, yeah, I'd say it's go time. Once this Lifestealer has AC, potentially grab next Roche, which we'll find out. Oh, okay.
And a haste rune out on Majisu, just runs up with that Bloodthorn and takes out Nova. Nova is not having a fun game at all. He is trying to go into that Yulsep to try and stop that from happening, but unfortunately he's a bit wave.
I reckon he had enough gold for it there before he died. Oh well.
850, 250, 1k. Yeah, he would have been pretty close.
2.7k for a
yeah, so he would have been fairly close.
He's going to take the gank.
But it looks like, yeah, we do have a Clockwork gank coming up.
You don't want to be in
that's
that.
right, the boat. Positive player is getting caught out as well. He throws out the Metamorphosis, may be able to pick up one as well. The Blade Mail finally does come out from Blu-ray. Out comes the Thunder as well. Ninja's decided just to fight him anyways. Doesn't really care, but he's getting extremely lows. Might have to try and armlet toggle his way out of this. He definitely does do that, but in comes Cox from the background here. Will he be able to take him out? Positive play. Oh my. Oh, that was so close. Positive player almost worked his way out of that, and he goes down here 40 seconds on the sideline for the Terrorblade. And it's 2 pickups. As you were saying, yeah, probably just going to take this last tier 2, go for the next Roshan, and that's pretty much go time, right?
Yep.
It's a very, very hard game for the boys of TFA. 16k net worth out for the G4 lads. And Magistu is just chunking down this tower right now. And they might even decide to just go here. There is 15 seconds left on the Terrorblade, but they know that he doesn't have Sunder or Meta, so this could be go time.
The boat's on cooldown, I think. Oh, no, it's not. Yeah, it's only 60 seconds. What am I talking about?
Yeah. I think them knowing that Meta's on cooldown, this is probably a good time to try and fight, but maybe they're just a bit scared of a bit of potential turnaround, so they're just going to farm up, wait for the next Roshan, and that will be go time. It is not very long until we have the next Rosh come up. Rosh potentially come up.
The Wombo combo is very strong.
Yeah.
You know, if you get
Radiant's bottom tower is under
vacuum,
attack.
boat, wall, macropyre, even though you're 20 grand up, I would say you might lose that team fight. If the Wombo combo hits you too hard, yeah. This game could swing very, very violently in the opposite direction. Especially with Terrorblade, because Terrorblade is so strong at pushing buildings.
Yeah. That is true. Terrorblade is one of those good heroes and just chunking down towers once he gets a bit of space. But as you're saying, there is a lot of good high game defense, and maybe G4 is giving it a bit of respect, but 18k net worth, you'd imagine they should be able to survive it. They don't really have any defensive items. They have some 4-stars and stuff like that, but once you... I'm pretty sure this TA she is pretty squishy once her refraction charges go down, but I still think that she's able to like blow up one hero before they're able to kill her a lot of the time, so...
Oh, and Magista's gone in for the boots of travel. He's gearing up for the late game.
Interesting. I thought maybe he would go into... What else would you really go from here? You're pretty much as
Butterfly.
heavy as you just want. Yeah, I'd imagine Butterfly would probably be the next one. Maybe an MKB or something like that.
Ooh, here we go.
Out comes the Bloodthorn, and the 2-shot from Magistu. This TA is definitely taking over this game. Very, very farmed.
I think if you got a Butterfly, plus the Solar Crest from Cox on the Night Stalker, I don't think there's much you can do to stop this TA. Like, she becomes an unstoppable juggernaut.
Yeah, pretty much. So we have the boys from G4, after getting that pick, they decided to jump in, but Scroats does blink in there, doesn't catch anyone, unfortunately, so there's no vacuum, but it is fairly short cooldown, another 20-odd seconds for them, but this Magician, it's so hard, man.
Right now, G4 have an interesting choice. Do they go high ground? Do they go Roche? Do they go Shrines? It looks like they're going to try and push the high ground.
So we do have the Storm Spirit jumping in onto Magistu, who is getting extremely low here, about half HP, but we do have Blu-ray jumping straight in with Ninja, and Positive Play and Hawkeye getting extremely low here. Magistu does go down, unfortunately, so it looks like the Storm Spirit did pay for his life to get that, and Scroats is trying to fight 1v1 with Cox. Doesn't look like... Oh, yes, he does get him. Triple kill out here for Scroats. The vacuum wall does pull him back. He is earned up here, so he may decide to go down. No, he doesn't. He hits the shrine and is able to live through it. Ninja is going pretty ham here, so a 1v1 between Scroats and Ninja. Does have his armor back up. No rage for another 5 seconds. Blu-ray is on the backlines here, so maybe trying to get the full 5-man wipe. Ninja hits out onto Pandera. Ultra kill for the Lifestealer, and we thought the TA was the carry. We were so right.
He's a big horse. Holy damn! He's just murdered everyone.
He did not.
He's probably being yelled at. People are going back. Get out of that ninja. He's like, no, nigga, I'm fine. Watch this.
So we do have a buyback coming out from the Kunko. Respawn is down for the Storm Spirit as well. So Ninja, very, very low. Scroats is just going to try and run at him here. So he does have his armlet as well. Might be able to turn and fight here. Crystal Maiden is coming in. So he jumps into the Ancient. Full HP out from Ninja. What a play. TFA Scroats is getting very, very low here. The Storm zips in as well, so Scroats may be able to go down here. No, the Guardian Brews are keeping you alive a very long time, so Storm Spirit is stuck inside of the cogs here, but 4 of the Dire team is caught here, but the urn coming out from Cox takes out the Storm Spirit. This is not good, but that play from Ninja was huge. Baiting towards the Ancient, coming out with full HP, and Magistu tipping in with those bits of trouble. This could be very, very bad for TFA. This could be a whole lane of racks. Ninja hasn't died yet. He's going to go for a Shiva's interesting, and oh my god, that Jakiro. Was there supposed to be a hero there? I think there was.
Poor bugger.
He got deleted from the map. See you later, Jakiro. You need a new game, buddy. Alt F4, I think. Magistu.
That's
absolutely
that's GG well played right there.
This is pretty much game. His Terrorblade is not having fun at all. Cannot fight. Does have his Manta Star coming towards him now, so maybe he'll be able to fight Magistu here, but this will be 2 lanes of racks. We'll have some nice little chat wheels coming out. Are they going to go for the Mega Creeps? Looks like they decided to fall back here. Dark Series up in 5 seconds. Just going to play it safe here, but G4 are in a very dominating position. It looks like Cox has picked up a Basher, of all things.
Yeah, very
one of those items where you just go, yeah, screw it. I'm going to get a Basher. Game feels pretty much over for us. And now Magistu coming out with that Moonshot. He is... Let him go. Just soloing Roche. I don't care, dude. Come here. I want to take your Aegis, I want to take your cheese, and this I'd imagine would be the last round of racks. There is not many buybacks left. We'll have a look at the buyback status here. So there is only buyback onto the Darks here. Bit of gold needed for the rest of them, but it is not looking good here for the boys from TFA.
No, like the game. Yes, the game looks really stompy right now, but... Oh, there's a smoke mid lane. Here we go.
There's a smoke here, so we do have Nova diving in onto Cox. Now comes a 3-man back wall, 4-man back wall, I want to say. Blu-ray is getting extremely low here. Cox out with the Mjolnir buff on him as well. Just trying to get away as quickly as possible. Ninja eats the cheese, decides to keep fighting, but this Terrorblade is doing so much damage. He jumps inside of a creep. They don't know where he is. He gets frozen up by the Ice Path as well. Cox trying to go back onto the Kunker here, but who may be getting X marks as well. He looks like he's a little bit out. X marks comes out on Cox, and Positive Player trying to do what he can. This evasion is doing a lot of work. Magistu takes out the Storm Spirit. 1v1v bro.
He's got Thunder.
He hits him, and the Thunder comes out onto Magistu. There is no refractions left, but he is a blood formed up, and the Crystal Maiden decides to let it go out in front of his face. Magistu loses his Aegis for it, but that's not good. The Terrorblade does go down. He has to buy back here to try and get a fight.
Oh, that was so close. Benny Ryan has spoilt the party. He's got none of that there. Had he got the Thunder off and then walked away with popping that Aegis, that's a huge win. But oh damn, that was so close. Yet
Gonna
so
have
far.
to buy back here. Magistu going ham with his Bloodstone. This Bloodstone is doing so much work for him. He's going to go into a BKB next, and out comes the Manta to get away from that Bloodthorn. And Magistu taking a lot of damage here. They're going to try and go on him. He doesn't have a way of getting out of here. His blink is stopped. Out comes the refraction as well. He's just going to sit here to try and wait till his blink comes up. And out comes the burn from the Darks here. Gets rid of all that refraction charge. And Nova picks up a very nice kill. Almost 1,000 gold for him. He's getting close to his Bloodstone now. Has to Yule stepped up to get away from Cox here. He's running a bit low on mana, but that doesn't matter. Cox gives up on the chase. So
just when you think you're unkillable...
Yeah, you get killed, and it's very bad because the Storm Spirit was the one that killed you, and he is getting very close to his Bloodstone. Does have 1,800 gold in surplus, so he should be able to buy out some of these little orbs. They're very, very close to his Bloodstone, and once he starts racking up charges, he should be able to do pretty well if he stays away from a lot of these silences coming out from Cox and Magistu. So
we were talking about what Magistu builds on the TA, and I think. Like, one really, really good thing about Terrorblade is reflection scales. Like, it is
It's true, so it looks like we do have Nova jumping in onto Blura here. Out comes the Blade Mail as well. They're just trying to body block him up as much as possible. Scroats throws out the vacuum to pull him back. Hookshot is used to just keep the Storm Spirit in place, and he forces staffs away with those cogs in front of him. And TFA decides to chase here. This Mjolnir buff is doing a heck of a lot of damage to the team TFA. And looks like Cox will pay for his life. Oh, he almost gets away with that, and Cox decides to hookshot back in. Freshly picked up Aghanim scepter for him, so 12-second hook shots all day, son. Pandera gets out the hook, gets out the X marks the spot, and Torrent and Nova. Looks like Pandera got the last hit there, but Nova is very, very close. He is Bloodstone right now, probably has it flying out. Could definitely go and get it right now, and as you were saying, if they do decide to try and fight these guys and lose fights, this gets very, very bad for the boys from G4. So.
Interesting. So back to what I was saying about reflections. Reflection scales really well. Yeah. It's one of the best scaling abilities in the game because as your opponents get stronger, it gets stronger as well. And if the TA had a butterfly, yeah, probably not a great idea because of how much damage that illusion would do. Plus the wall, you know, the wall of replica as well. So there's a fair bit of of your own damage. So keeping that to a minimum is probably a good idea.
Yeah, definitely. So as you were saying, there is a lot of scaling spells coming out from TFA, but in saying that, what do you think the G4 guys have to do now to this? So you feel like they have to slow down now, try and get another Aegis and another Cheese, and kind of just play crisp, clean Dota instead of this, you know, high-paced pick-off
they just,
type stuff.
All that's happening, right, is they're just getting caught out and they're not fighting as 5, which is what they were doing really well in the early game. You know, they're outnumbering TFA, they were getting more people to the fight, and you know, just by virtue of being a little bit further in front, we're winning those fights. Now, though, they need to, well, smoke. There's a BKB on TA, and this could be a dead Nova.
Oh, so it looks like Majishu throws out the Bloodthorn, waiting for the Ulcep to come down. Will Cox be able to get out the silence? Yes, he does. The beautiful hook shot there from Blu-ray. Timing it very, very perfectly, and Majishu picks up a kill here. 26 seconds for Storm Spirit. That freshly picked up Bloodstone goes straight down to 8 charges. That's horrible. That is not a good... You don't want that as a Bloodstone hero.
Well, it's not as bad as it could be because right now you don't have very far to zip. They're at your front door.
Radiant structures are fortified.
That is very true. So Ninja decides to just throw the Mjolnir buff on himself, hit this tower. He decides not to go into the AC, but a Shiva's Guard for himself as well. A lot better against the Terabyte Illusions, but looks like Magistu just blows up that Hawkeye on his Chikira. Magistu is having to meld strike into the trees here. Could get caught out. A huge vacuum wall there. Hits 3. Magistu, as you were saying, these illusions could do a lot of damage. Hits a lot of these cores, and Magistu's illusion does die, which is kind of unfortunate. Vacuum is on cooldown now. Nobody gets killed, but Magistu has to use his 10-second BKB for that, so...
You know, I don't think they can push this. Boat's still online. Reflection's back up for the TB. I don't think that they can walk through that wall. They've got to go around it, because otherwise they create some nasty illusions. So
it looks like Ninja decides to just walk through it, creates another Lifestealer illusion. And the Mjolnir buff is doing a lot of work. Probably just going to wait out for the Metamorphosis here, go back in when TB is not ready. This wall should be going down very, very soon.
He's still got a bit to go on it. It looks at it. No, it's gone now.
Alright.
With the boat, they can still hold this. They've also got Macropyre again, so... You know, there's only one lane they can go in.
Also, it looks like Nova dies getting to be able to pull Cox up to this high ground. He doesn't have Hunter in the 9 and a full 4-man back. And out comes the boat as well. Wombo combo on top of the Macropyre on the ground. He's just trying to fight as much as he can. Johnny Buff is doing a heck of a lot of work. Positive player. Let's get a Sunray. Doesn't do a heck of a lot for him though. He's about at half HP now, and Blu-ray is coming in as a 4-man wipe, and that's 5 dead. Coming out from G4. Nova going ham. 13 Bloodstone charges for him, and as we were saying, the Wombo combo comes out. Vacuum, Boat, Macropyre, and G4 go down. Full 5-man for them, only losing the Darks here, and this is not looking good.
It's not time to panic. Don't worry about that. I hate being right. I said I don't think they can push this anymore. And they tried it, and they got stomped. TFA, what a fucking team fight. That's poetry in motion. That's why we watch this game. That's just beautiful. Submit that to who does it? Dota Cinema?
Yeah, Dota Cinema.
Send it in.
TFA. boys. Absolutely showing us why we pick these wombo combo team fighters. And yeah, that's what I was saying. We definitely need probably like another Aegis and Cheese on top of the TA or potentially the Lifestealer. They were doing a lot of work. They need 1 minute apparently, so we will be able to get a lot of time to analyze a lot of this stuff. So TB coming up on his Skadi. Once this, I think, as this Terrorblade gets stronger and stronger, it's going to be very, very hard for G4 to try and fight in this Terrorblade. Because as you were saying, Reflection does so much work in these team fights.
Yeah. As soon as he hits Q, like, everyone's slowed, everyone's doing damage to themselves. Like, and these heavy carries, like, the Lifestealer isn't too bad because he doesn't build very stats heavy. Oh my god, Scroats. There's just no controlling that boy. The TA as well, you know, she doesn't build too stats heavy, but I reckon the Desolator buff applies. So, all of this stuff just gets turned around on you, and, you know, they fought into it. Scroats hit a great vacuum. There was an Ice Wall down, there was a Macropire, there was a boat, there was Terrorblade illusions hitting stuff. And we saw right towards the end of the fight why Terrorblade's really good against Lifestealer. The Lifestealer's full health, the Terrorblade's getting a little bit low. Oh, sorry, no, we'll swap HP here. I want your HP, you can have mine. And all of a sudden, the Lifestealer's like, well, shit, it's 4v1. I might be able to do this at full HP, but considering I'm 25 HP, I'm dead.
Yeah, definitely, and
then the chase from the Storm Spirit.
Yeah, this Storm Spirit is doing a lot of work now. It does have 13 Bloodstone charges up to picking up that Yules, and he will be going into a Shiva's Guard for himself. So, as we were saying, there could be a lot more wombo combo on top if Storm Spirit decides to go into an Aghanim Scepter. You know, good old Darkseer Aghanim Storm. That could be a heck of a wombo combo.
That could actually be really nice.
That's a beautiful combo that I've done and seen many times. It is very gorgeous if it works out properly. Let's with a lot of the AoE that they do have on TFA as well. So it's going to be pretty scary for G4 if they don't get a pick off to try and take these full 5v5s.
I think that TFA need to consider Roche right now. It's a shame Roche isn't up right now, and it's a shame they have such terrible heroes for taking Roche, but if they could have snuck Roche right now, they'd be well and truly back in this game. With an Aegis on the Terrorblade, you know, potentially pushing high ground, or even better yet, Aegis on a Storm Spirit, when, you know, you can give him license to go and split push. You just say, hey, look, here's a free life. You know, go do what you want. You know, push out lane, see if you can get a pick off. If you can, well, great. If you don't, and you burn an Aegis, well, they don't have it. So, you can't lose in that regard.
Definitely, probably only another, what is that, like 30 seconds to a minute? That's on the Roche spawn.
1 minute, 12 seconds, according to the little doodaddy that we now have.
That's a lovely UI thing. I was trying to do it the OG way, the analog clock. We've got digital clocks now. Feels good, man. So, yeah, as you were saying, they kind of need to get a bit of split push going for TFA, trying to push out these lanes and stuff, not let G4 get in their faces. But do you think that they should be the aggressors still, or should they still just be waiting for G4 to make another mistake when they come high ground?
Well, unfortunately, because of their heroes, they might have been able to force something. If they go, like, take Roche, for example, they might have been able to force that. This team is really good about fighting around something. So if there's something they can fight around, for example, the Roche Pit, which is a very narrow area, the entry to the Tier 3 bottom is very narrow again. If they can fight around that, then they do well. But out in lane, just in like a free-flowing engagement, the Night Stalker's going to reign supreme.
Yep. Okay, that's fair enough then. So we are kind of just waiting for G4 to try and, you know, make the next move. Potentially waiting for Roche, I'd imagine. It is going to be spawning very, very soon.
Right now.
Couple of seconds. Yeah, so G4 will notice that. They have taken up the Shrine. There is a little bit of time left on the DD. I don't think the DD really matters to them, to be fair. They do have a lot of minus armor and stuff like that, so...
Talking about minus armor, I spotted this before, and it's very interesting. The Magisto on the TA has taken the 8 meld armor reduction instead of the refraction instances. I've never seen this, because normally the TAs take the refraction instances.
I'd imagine it would be because there is a Darkseer, Jakira, and Kunkka all have spells that do multiple instances of damage, so I don't think the extra 3 refractions would do that much, to be fair. especially against the Jakiro, because if Jakiro is throwing out all these AoE spells on you and you get clipped by one of them, and then you've wasted this level 25 skill point on something that doesn't really help you that much. So I can see why he's done it.
Veil of Discord on Kunkka.
Interesting.
Damn.
I thought that would be going towards the Jakiro, but as we were
Jakiro's
saying,
poor. Like, he's poverty stations right now.
he's dirt poor, but
TB has gone in for a Hurricane Pike and has no buyback.
okay, I thought he may have wanted another.
He needs a way of getting out of the coffin.
I guess, yeah, okay, yeah, that's understandable. So TA picks up another Aegis. Cheese is out on her as well. She does eat the Moon Shard, interesting. She's going to go for the AC, alright.
Yeah, she needs armor. 13 armor heading into the late game is just not enough.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't realise how low armor she actually had, so she will be going into that AC. Lifestealer has freshly picked up Abyssal Blade. What's Clockwork going for now? He's going to get a big B of his own, and we do have...
This Lifestealer is actually approaching his max right now. He's got tons of armor, which is really good, but his rage is really what's enabling him to fight, because they've got so much kite and magic that, yeah, he's gonna go for an MKB, but I would have thought that maybe a BKB of his own would be the way to go. Try and nullify a lot of what TFA have.
Yeah, definitely. But decided he may want his
Axe on the
MKB. Yeah, his Clockwork Axe is doing a heck of an amount of work for Ninja. Rages hits at tier 3. It was fairly low from these past couple of walk up and chips. So they do just blow up this crit wave. Aegis still out on the G4 boys, so it is their onus to try and get this fight happening. Ninja doesn't want to use his rage on that, and they do jump in now, so that comes out onto 2. The wall comes down as well, but Nijitsu turns with his BKB, and Nova is getting caught down here. He's able to zip away with those guarding grooves, so beautiful work there by Scroats, and it looks like nobody has gone down yet. Just using the wall. Did we use the boat? So boat is used, Macapara is used, same with the wall. So 3 ults traded. And so it looks like Nijitsu is caught back here by the X-Torrent combo, and it really looks like Clock is just going to dive straight in here. Blu-ray jumps all the way onto positive player here. I don't think he's going to be able to do anything, and Ninja gets hurt here by the Thunder. Dropping down to about half HP now, so it looks like just a lot of ults just being exchanged here. This wall is doing a heck of a lot. Nova decides to jump in here. Clockwork throws out a hook, only lands onto Cox, so Cox looks like he may be going down here to the X. X does not get him in the torrent, and Glimmercape is helping him a lot, so...
They're just running out, though.
This is like, it could be go time for G4. They do see that Metamorphosis is over, so... Probably just going to try and regen a little bit and come back in. Ninja is about full HP now. Clockwork finds a lucky regen rune top. So these G4 boys. Yeah, the 40 minutes spawn double runes is very, very good. It's actually insane. It's so good. I have no idea why they did it, but it is crazy. So looks like Cox gets to heal up with those open wounds, and they're going to try and go back in here. They still know that Metamorphosis is down for a little bit. So Ninja is just deciding to walk up to this high ground here. He's going to start hitting one of these racks. Starts hitting into the melee rack, trying to get as much chip damage as possible. X comes out as well, and now comes the Torrent. So Nova decides to jump in as well. He gets silenced up. This is not good for Nova. He needs to survive here. He does have 12 Bloodstone charges. He uses himself up, gets away from that. Ninja, his rage runs out, so he gets caught here. Just using his BKB as well, so not really getting much out of these BKBs and rage. So Ninja has to jump inside of a creep as well. Gets caught into the wall. Running a bit low here. They're just trying to get away. G4 does not want to fight anymore. Blu-ray throws out another hook, but
the defense is unreal.
Nobody is going down yet. This is 2 engagements in a row where nobody has died. This is
G4
crazy.
Right now are pressing. They are bearing down as hard as they can, and TFA are refusing to bend. They are holding this Rax, and I don't know how. There's a Lifestealer. What do you do against a Rage Lifestealer? They're like, yeah, watch. We can def this. And
they're
finally,
doing very, very well. So
go,
the melee Rax, the range Rax does go down here, and Ninja did eat the cheese in the background, so he was able to get back to full HP. Blu-ray throwing out another hook shot here out on the Storm Spirit. Storm Spirit having to fall back here, completely silenced. Ninja getting half HP. That Lifesteal illusion does so much damage.
Good stuff.
But range Rax down, melee Rax about half HP here. They still have the Aegis on Magista. They really want to use this Aegis. So they may try and go back in here. Metamorphosis is off cooldown once more, so this could be it. Ninja Gets orchided up here, but does not go down, so he will be hexed and try and run away. Venomorphs comes out from positive player. He is doing a heck of a lot of damage here, but Benny throws it out under the cover of the Glimmer Cape. But again, nobody goes down. Ninja is extremely low on his life steal. He's just going to try and heal up with an Ancient Infest Bomb. Blu-ray throws out a hook, misses. Bandera is just dropping items on the ground, just trying to be a bit cheeky here.
I feel like positive player needs to micro his illusions a little bit better and block this angle here, because the Clockwork is hooking in every single time and breaking up the fight, breaking up the initiation. So if they can get something here, maybe they stop that. It happened 3 times in a row. But, everything's back up off cooldown, except Macropie, which has got not long to go. There's that.
Yeah, so it looks like Nova does jump in with the Hex as well. 3-man back wall. They are doing a heck of a lot of damage here. Positive player just trying to munch down Magician here. He doesn't have that Aegis either, so 98 seconds on the backgrounds for him. And Ninja is getting caught out with this Ice Path as well. We do have Cox getting caught up. Oh no, the 2-man torrent as well. TFA are doing it one more time. That is 3 down for them. Ninja is just trying to fight as much as he can. Nova's getting extremely low. He's going to have to get away, but no, he goes down to the procs from Ninja's Mjolnir. We do have a buyback from the Storm Spirit trying to get those Bloodstone Chargers back. Does pick up the Life Stealer.
Meanwhile, base
trying to find the Crystal Maiden. They do not find her, but yes, the base is taking a heck of a lot of damage. Tier 4 going down for them. They do not save their melee racks, and a buyback out from the Storm Spirit, so this is pretty crazy coming up from TFA. They are defending extremely well. They hold all the other teams to death. That is definitely seems to be what they are doing. Death by 1,000 cups.
This is our game 1 tactic.
Ad Finem. So yeah, TFA did have a beautiful high ground defense. Unfortunately, they do get mega creep. They do lose a tier 4, so it doesn't look like it's going to be all sunny days for them.
Oh jeez, I love it. I love it because, like, exactly as Scroats has just written in chat, never give up. Like, the never say die attitude has carried them through to 50 minutes, right? And there's a 2,000 MMR difference between these two teams. Like, hello, this game should have been over 30 minutes ago. And yet here we are. We're still here. The Terrorblade's still scaling. Everyone is still scaling. And it's just, like, the game is gradually getting harder for TFA, but I love how they're making G4 work for it. They're making them earn it. And next game, G4 are probably going to be thinking, like, what the hell do we do here? Like, we nearly lost with that draft. We could, it could end up being a 3-game series, at least we hope so anyway.
It definitely puts G4 on the back foot here, thinking they were going to come in here and have a pretty easy roll on, but TFA are showing that they're very, very good at holding this high ground. They are using their spells extremely well together, not really overlapping that much, and this last healer really hasn't had that fun of a time, to be honest. He did get that ultra kill probably about 20 minutes ago, but right now it's looking a lot harder for them. Nova is coming up onto a BKB, so hopefully he can try and do a lot more in these team fights, but whoever has the Hex is doing a heck of a lot of work. It's Scroats, isn't it? Yeah, Scroats on his Darkseer, doing a lot of work here, second on net worth for his team. So they're just going to try and defend these Mega Creeps as much as possible. As you said, Scroats said never give up, so it looks like they're not going to GG out that early. Cox does have an Invis rune, has found Nova here on his Storm Spirit, has
Need a lot of help though.
Clockwork is rotating in here. He does a whiff the hook shot, unfortunately. It will be back up in another couple of seconds. Nova gets the zip out as well. So, unfortunately for Blu-ray, doesn't get the quick pick on the Storm Spirit here, so G4, onus is on them to just end this game, so they're just going to try and shove in these waves as much as possible. There is not really that much wave clear coming up from TFA. They do have Iron Shell and Storm Spirits, Shield's Guard and stuff like that, but
that's right.
It's not like a spam.
Hawkeye's going to buy Maelstrom on Jakiro.
Yeah, Hawkeye, do it, son. Do it. You be the high ground holder. Let your team push out, go farm waves and stuff like that, and you're just going to sit in base with your Maelstrom, with your...
I want to see a cheeky Axe from the Jakiro. I want to see a cheeky Axe from the Kunkka. And I want to see this Wombo combo go to level 11.
and Ags from the Storm Spirit.
Ags from the Storm Spirit as well. Just some cheeky Agonivs, right? And just try and Wombo combo them down.
And pretty much just GG push down mid, just say, go boys, go, go, go. Don't worry about it, let's go. Jakiro's got the base, he's got his Maelstrom. But G4 are deciding to take this slow, potentially probably just waiting for the next Roshan. Won't be up for another 30 seconds, so it's going to try and get another Aegis, and pretty much all they need to do is jump in and kill one hero, but the way TFA are team fighting and holding their high ground, I don't think it's going to be as easy as it sounds, so...
Right now, Terrorblade is not yet level 25, he's only level 24.
That could be huge. With the Sunder... Do you think he's going to go Sunder cooldown or the stats?
I think... Wow. So hard.
It gets it down to 10 seconds Sunder.
Like, it depends on what he thinks is going to happen. Like, if he thinks the game's going to be more like this, you'd go stats. Whereas if he thinks that G4 are just going to come in again and again and again, and there's going to be another one of those situations where there's just this high ground siege that rolls for 2 minutes, then definitely Sunder. Like, you just walk in, get low, Sunder someone, walk out again, wait 10 seconds, come back in and do it again.
100%. So G4 does pick up their fifth Aegis. I don't know. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say fifth Aegis. Screw it. It's a lot of Aegises for them this game. They have had a lot of Roshan control. Who did they put it on? They put on the Lifestealer. His armor is inside.
I actually like this a little bit better because it allows him to go forward, rage, siege. When rage wears out, he can back, wait for rage to come off cooldown again, go forward, rage, siege. If he dies, he's got an Aegis.
They definitely, so they do throw out the reflection here. Ninja is taking a lot of damage, but Clock just hookshots into the backline, force stuff away, and now comes the vacuum. 3-man vacuum wall combo, but they are taking a lot of damage here. Clock has to eat the cheese just to try and stay alive. Positive player underneath the eyes of the Glimmergate. Doesn't look like he's going to go down, but Clocks will go down to Nova here, so another Bloodstone charge for him. He's doing a heck of a lot of work here. It looks like we do have a Blu-ray going extremely low as well. Ninja getting about half HP as well. Positive player gets a double kill out on his Terrorblade, so this could be it for TFA. It looks like Magistu and the Crystal Man have decided just to leave Ninja to his own devices. He will lose his Aegis here, and they just gone, screw it bro, you're on your own. This last healer is going to have to play his way out of this. He decides to go on a positive play. They still do have Sunday. He should be able to turn around and get it off. He wants to get it out onto Ninja. Will he be able to use it? He hasn't used it yet, so he uses it on Pandera, I think. I'm not quite sure who he used it on, so his Sunday is back off cooldown as well. Actually, no, that was an illusion. So it looks like they are just trying to go into here. Nova is doing a heck of a lot of work on this Storm Spirit, but they do have a pause coming out. Magistu has to DC. This is very, very unfortunate. And that was a very crazy team fight. We do have Jakira buying back as well.
The boat was late, but it still hit 3 heroes. I don't know how Pandera did it. I thought, oh shit, he's missed his opportunity here. They've all split, but then they came back together again, and they all got hit by it. And when that boat hit, all of a sudden, they just melted. 600 damage, plus the Veil is apparently a lot of damage. Here we go.
So
it's Tony Abbott, the consultant for NBN.
We're going to get back into this fight. So Positive Player doesn't have his Sunder cooldown. I'm not quite sure if he's going to use his talent tree here while he's waiting. Ninja is getting extremely low. He's slowed down by Storm Spirit. Storm Spirit is very, very low in mana. I don't think he can do much here. Magistu doesn't have his refraction either, so it looks like the G4 boys are just going to try and run here. Nova uses his wand, zips away. They do not catch Magistu. That was very, very unfortunate for them, but they held. The tier 4 almost goes down in the process. Only a buyback coming out from Hawkeye, only Sekiro, so.
And they pop the Aegis as well.
And the cheese as well, so it's either G4 waits again for another Roshan or...
Well, I don't think they can. The BKB on Templar Assassin is now 5 seconds.
Yeah.
So this Ags on the Storm, which he now has, plus the Wombo combo is looking more and more dangerous. It's excellent. I love how coordinated TFA are. And G4 are doing everything they can to end this game, and they just haven't been able to.
This is pretty unfortunate. This is kind of the downfall of Lifestealer and TA. As you were saying, they don't really scale that much, and it looks like we have a 2-man vacuum as well. Ninja does get his rage off, but his Storm Spirit is extremely low. Might be able to zip away here. Yes, he does. Nova gets away. The boat comes out, hits 3. What another beautiful boat coming out from Pandera. Ninja is getting extremely low as well. Same with the Magistu. We're going to have to just run away here. I'm not quite sure what we're going to be able to do against Positive Player here with his Terrorblade. He has Thunder off cooldown as well. Should be able to just reflection up, get rid of Benny Ryan here, so that's going to be 2 going down. Pandera gets a double kill. Nova decides to zip forward onto Magistu. Magistu has his refractions up. Out comes the Bloodthorn as well, has to blink away. Nova's trying to do as much as he can, and so it looks like we do have Blu-ray and Ninja jumping into a Pandera here. The Kunkka has to go down. They do get the kill, so they're just going to try and go for the Ancient. This is a weird backdoor play here. Majitsu, TP's in as well. BKB out on him, but this Terrorblade is chunking him apart. Majitsu's going to go down as well. They did almost no damage to the Ancient as well. Clockwork and Ninja getting extremely low. It's like a 5-man white. TFA holding their base one more time. This is beautiful Dota coming up from the TFA boys. They really want this win. Never give up from these guys. And G4 throwing away a massive lead. Still 15k, but look at this team fight.
I feel like this game could be made into one of those motivational movies. You know, where like the team, they're not fancy to win, and yet they just keep fighting, and I don't know how they're still in it, to be honest.
This is beautiful play. Like, this is a very, very good play coming out from TFA. They do have the better scaling cores, to be honest. Terrorblade and the Storm Spirit doing a heck of a lot of work. This Terrorblade is so hard to take down now. He did pick up the Thunder cooldown.
Here's the best bit, right? He's still carrying a Ring of Aquila and a gem. So he's still got practically 2 slots, if not 3, plus a Moonshard. To scale into yet. Whereas the Lifestealer is capped. He's going to buy a Moonshard, that's it. He's done. There's nothing more he can buy.
Definitely, this last series is not having that fun a time anymore. Can't really deal with this Storm Spirit, can't deal with the Terrorblade anymore, and Kunkka's going into damage as well. Pandera has Chrysalis. After getting that double kill, he's going to go into a Daedalus of his own, so
that's so good.
Him throwing out those Tidebringers every 4 seconds, it's going to be one of those things you don't really calculate it in your head when you're going into a team fight. You don't really expect this 4-position Kunkka to be critting you for a couple hundred damage, and you just go, wow, well that's why I melted.
Yeah, well, it's actually 500 damage, but
yeah,
that's neither here nor there. And you know, Crystal Maiden's only got 1400 HP.
Yeah, so she's going to go down very, very quickly. G4, they have all the map control in the world, but they're just not winning these team fights. What do you think they need to win one of these team fights? Like, who do they need to kill? What item do they need?
I think they need to jump straight past the front line of Terrorblade and just get on the back lines. They need to wipe out the Kunkka and the Jakiro. They're the ones that are providing a lot of control, a lot of kite. If you can deal with those first, I think you'll find the fight a little bit easier once your BKB is down and your Rage is down in the Lifestealer. I think you invest Lifestealer in the Clockwork and you just go, right, get on the Kunkka, get on the Jakiro, and we go from there.
Definitely so.
Ancient. There is literally nothing in the Radiant base right now. There's no buffer buildings, no shrines. There's just an Ancient.
There is just an Ancient. So G4 did smoke up. They tried to jump onto Nova on his Storm Spirit, but he was able to zip away. They are smoked up right now. G4 potentially trying to get a...
They need immaculate chain stun.
So Storm Spirit does get caught out there by the Bloodthorn. Is going to have to Yule Scepter up. The Clockwork Hook didn't come out in time, so is able to jump away. Out comes the X onto Cock, but in comes Blu-ray hooking onto the Kunkka, not being able to catch out Cox, but in comes the Storm Spirit Aghanim. The double pullback is able to catch out Ninja as well. His next up is getting extremely low here. The Terrorblade is deciding just to try and fight him, but Magistu just BKBs and tries to fight the Ancient. The Ancient's getting extremely low. They do not have a glyph anymore. It is going down to a couple hundred HP. Magistu is getting pulled away from the Ancient. No, he goes down as well. Blu-ray is just hitting the Ancient, and down goes the Ancient. G4. The backdoor play coming out with the win. I thought they were going to lose that, and I thought this was TFA's time to shine, but as you said, exposed Ancient, no buffer buildings, nothing to stop the creeps hitting it, and G4, they just come out by the skin of their teeth. That was crazy.
That's a really good game. I think if you're the future Ancients, you're like, yeah, bring on game 2. We're warmed up now. We're good to go. And I want to see the future Ancients pick Enigma, like Magnus, and like Juggernaut, and then just go ham. It's just I thoroughly enjoyed that game, and it was very, very interesting the way that the future Ancients were able to hold their Ancient. That's the name of the game, really.
Definitely, they did do an extremely good effort there.